This pro player, Atlantic Scroll, uses the worst spines in Fortnite history, but even with that, he was able to win in the most recent Trio Cash Cup. Before you see the big mistake Scroll's about to make, let me explain what's wrong with his keybinds. Basically, everybody has different keys to build, which is really important and allows pros to build really fast and edit. But what Scroll has is his scroll wheel. By the way, he just got sniped there, but it's okay because they're far enough that they can get the res off. But he basically has a scroll wheel that goes from the 4 different button binds, and it is a lot more complicated and more difficult to build on those binds, but that does not stop them. Here, Scroll and his trio have to make a very far rotate, but they do some smart things to pull this off. A lot of the best players here are looking at them with their ARs, but what they're doing good is, first of all, using this hill so anyone up here doesn't have an angle. See these guys here that I'm looking at? They cannot see them here because of that hill. Now these guys on the left, they do have to worry about, but again, they do some things right here. First, it is handy that Sky has a grappler, but his other teammates don't. But it's fine because they are building. When you're doing a rotate like this, you have to be generous with your builds. You cannot be greedy with them or you will get lasered, get fought and die. And again, using their builds, I did a little trick there. I want to go back and show you that trick. It's only possible when you have something like, which you do get for a few seconds with the new chug cannon. I'm going to show you really quickly. Let's just go back to it. So let's speed this up for a second. I'm going to actually switch back to gameplay here. And then I'm going to show you. So they use the splash thing, and then that allows them to give this little bunny hop effect. And they can use that to bounce their head and just quickly go forward. Now the guys are spraying them. They're building using hard match, which is crucial as well. And because of that smart rotate, you're able to get into a good position in zone. Now this team does actually start fighting them, but they were ready and they don't get caught off guard, and then this team eventually is just going to end up leaving them. Even though Scroll's teammates rotate went well, for other players' teams the rotate didn't, and Scroll's team actually caught Chap out here and eliminated him. So let's see what went wrong from Chap's perspective. First of all, you can see Chap's teammates on the far left. They're really far from him. I don't know how Chap got into his position, but it probably was from looking for a refresh because Chap is low on materials. So I imagine he was looking to double key. Here he grapples, there's players looking at him, so he gets shot for a lot of damage. He does his best to keep on going, but this is already really bad. He gets shot for even more damage. Nice little slide play, but people were looking at him. They knew that they needed to hold him here because he was weak and they were low on mats. So, to be honest, at this stage, there was nothing Chap was ever going to do that was able to save this game, unless he got a lucky max bump. And unfortunately for him, Scroll's team saw him being vulnerable and saw the opportunity. So nice little edit and the pump, very nice. Again, they have another long rotate, and I'm going to watch this in 0.5 to really break down what they do well. First of all, building, not being afraid to build again, crucial. There is players though ahead of them that you're going to see in 2 seconds about to become a problem. What a shot. Ping, spots Scroll, and he cracks him. Now this could go bad and end many teams' cash cups, but what Scroll's team do really good here is building in hearts. And also let's just take a look at this trio. Well, this guy, he's just staring at nothing, but this duo was ready and could have, but this team was ready and could have easily killed Scroll here, but luckily they miss a few shots, gives Scroll a chance. He doesn't mess up that edit. You know, some players messes up the edits and they'll go down here. They'll get sprayed through and die. Scroll does not, even though he's on the worst spines. Builds in metal, which is crucial, and here his teammates are also expanding, making space, giving him a chance to survive and making it harder for these teams to see exactly where to spray and pressure. And thankfully they rotated and got into zone and now can heal back up. But that didn't last long, and now they have to rotate again. Unfortunately, not everyone on this team has grapplers, so they have to keep doing these sprint rotates, which can go really, really bad. But again, they're using a lot of their mats and having awareness. And let's actually switch to Sky here for this for a second. Sky actually spots, I think it's a knocked body in zone or just loot, and he sees the crash pad. That is the reason why they're going here now. Now, if it's another grappler, maybe this could be the play too, trying to get rotates for the team. Because by the way, also why this is a good play is because look at all these teams ready to hold them, trying to come in through this rotate, and there's other teams around that are just gonna make their life a nuisance. So to be honest, there's a high likelihood they get scuffed or die coming into this rotate. So I really like this play of coming over here, getting this crash pad and using it to rotate. He pops a slurp juice to give him a chance to survive in Storm. And I don't think Scroll actually comes in here, which is interesting. Yeah, Sky and I sold resub. I don't know what pro player that actually is, but anyway, they use the crash pad to really rotate really smart, while Scroll simply grapples in and they perfectly land on each other. I mean, that rotate was just beautiful. And again, building a metal because they're getting into zone late. And in this situation, you want to use hard mass, the hardest materials possible, to just give yourself a bit more protection and room to work with a better material. Because it's such a small zone now, Scroll's trio start playing low ground for many reasons. One, playing low ground allows you to get control of a really useful part of the map, and you can get a lot of refreshes from this, which we'll see in 2 seconds how they actually get a refresh. But another reason is because they don't all have rotation, so it's really just the best bet to stay safe and stay in these boxes together while playing low ground instead of running around trying to rotate, save mats, and being awkward. And in trios, you can actually use do rotates like this because you have more mats, so you can use more mats. But let's see here now how Scroll actually gets a refresh for the team. So here he spots the team that are spraying them. They're actually getting fought by another team. I'm gonna quickly go and check. Look, Wave, Cringe, and Vidil, I think. Oh yeah, they're looking at this fight, but because they're distracted and Scroll can see a sign of weakness, which is one of the teammates has a campfire, which if you can in matches, you should do your best to not show other teams that you're weak, but the campfire did exactly just that. Scroll just edits so he can see the player. He knows he's not looking, so doing the left hand peek, it's okay because the player is not looking, and boom, gets the refresh. Lovely little char shot too by Scroll's teammate onto Vidil, and that forces them to not be able to look at them, and then they can safely get this refresh. Even though they did get that refresh, they were still in a poor position. They were on backside and they were on low ground where there's too many people here now congested. Low ground's only good when you're on front side able to get refreshes. So what did they do? Well, they rotate, of course, but I really like the way they do this rotate. First of all, they're staying together. You see them literally, look, they're literally all like 1 inch of each other in the same boxes. And Scroll, again, using this splash cannon, gives them a little bit of the hop movement, which then they use to try and grapple and rotate. Again, all going to the same place. They could have got pumped, to be fair. They are a little bit lucky to not have got pumped while doing that rotate, but it's fine. Sometimes you get that, and they're in the same hard material box now on a layer that doesn't have too many players on it, which you always want, so because there isn't a team that could just suddenly smack on your walls and jump in. Now here, Scroll does actually spot this guy, and it's exactly where you don't want to be in the same layer, because a team will do exactly what Scroll is doing to this guy. But unfortunately, I guess they realize that's the trio, so they decide to back off. So that's fortunate for that guy. But here is what wins this game. They go for the game-winning play, and if you saw there, they use the splash cannon, so they get the Flowberry Fizz effect. And what that does is when you grapple, it sends you so much further into the sky. And then Scroll grapples a second time, so it pulls him down so he isn't an easy beam for F9. F9 gets caught off guard, pumped, and Scroll gets a beautiful elimination. He could have died of fall damage here, but because he's grappler, he's able to save himself. And then goes back up, nearly kills Moneymaker, but because one of the trios dead, this allows Scroll and Sky and ISO resub, whatever that name is again, allows them to take high ground. And then I imagine they just keep spraying up here to get the win. Scroll does drop down, but he does a smart thing and does not just jump into a box. Instead, looks to pressure, but safely. Yeah, all while just staying up on high ground, being careful for teams that might grapple up onto him. And it looks like this is just going to allow him to get an easy win. They're doing a really good job at pressuring down. Now, to be fair, they do have the minigun, and if there's a team on high ground with the minigun, it's just so hard for another team to do anything about it. And guys, that's why I'm looking forward to the season be over, because I want to VOD review, you know, games where there isn't just a team abusing the mythic. Now, to be fair, there's a lot of things to learn here that the mythic minigun had nothing to do with, but unfortunately for other games of different pros, I can't really VOD review it because it's just literally them spray the mythic minigun. And by looks of it, it helped here to finish out this game while also getting a whole load of kills. And Scroll, guy with terrible binds, win. By the way, this was the last game of Trade Cash Cup that got him to win. He did die there, which is quite ironic, but this is the final game of Trade Cash Cup, which they won. And they also won the Trade Cash Cup by like 40 points. Yeah, Trudex had absolutely no chance.